Okay, so it seems like recently there's been a little bit of a situation going on with Matara Khan. Now, this is a pretty interesting one as she recently put out a message which a lot of people are a little bit worried about, essentially saying, hey, Momos, in August, I found out that certain companies or people I trusted, I have, have betrayed a lot of streamers and the audience's trust. This began a really intense downward spiral for me, where I seriously reconsidered a lot of what I know about this industry and the company inside it. And she goes on to say, I've been an actual ghost for the past few weeks, curtains drawn, phone muted, and barely existing in a bad mental health induced cocoon. I burnt out hard, couldn't work, and could barely take care of myself. I'm having my family visit, and I'll be heading back to my parents' place for a bit, yes, at my big age. I just need to be in a place where people can check on me. I don't have to pretend that I'm okay. Absolutely no shame in it, but I'm just not okay to be alone right now. I'm going to try my best to stay strong, get back on my little bug toes, and come back in September. I've really missed you all. I just need to get a little bit better mentally before I'm back consistently for you. Please hold on tight. I need just a little more time. So yeah, obviously it seems like she's taking like a little bit of a break there. But yeah, she's had some issues behind the scenes with certain companies and people that she has trusted and essentially been betrayed by. Now, obviously, there's been a lot of speculation as to over what this could be. Obviously, recently, if you guys don't remember, we had this whole situation with Novel Horizons. Novel Horizons, a bigger company, which obviously screwed over a lot of VTubers in the sense that, a lot of their fans were not going to have their figures delivered and they ended up going bankrupt, right? And they put out like a final statement and all of this kind of stuff. And many VTubers are trying to get the orders, trying to find out, how much they spent and things so they can like kind of either reimburse them or, give them something, just anything to kind of give them some compensation for what has happened, right? Because it's put them in a really terrible spot. Now, some people are speculating that it could be that because, of course, that has affected many VTubers, literally most of the big VTubers out there. But, of course, she doesn't actually mention by name what this is. And what makes me think that maybe it's not to do with Novel Horizons is the fact that, she doesn't mention it by name. Because if it was Novel Horizons, I don't really understand why she wouldn't just say, just because of the Novel Horizon situation, I've been like doing bad, because obviously everybody knows what's gone on now. It's not like a secret or anything. But obviously she keeps it very vague exactly on who the companies and the people are that have done this, right? Which makes me think that maybe it's not related to that. It could still be related to that, or it could be, she says companies plural. So potentially that could be one of the factors into, why she's not doing so good and things like that, which of course is fair enough, right? A lot of this stuff has been affecting people, many VTubers and stuff like that. There's also another situation as well, which we did cover, which wasn't as big for some reason. I don't know why, because I feel like it's pretty big. But of course, Bao made a tweet talking about the fact of Endra, the owner of Kinetic Fusion, and essentially claiming that they stole $2,268 from their concert. And of course, apparently as well, Porcelain Maid also says that he had $40,000 stolen from him. And apparently that, caused them to shut themselves into their house and overwork like crazy. Which of course, those are the two kind of situations in terms of companies and people that have gone on within the past couple of months or so, which I could understand would, affect a lot of VTubers very heavily, right? And maybe those two situations might have had a play in this, or maybe they didn't at all, or maybe there is a completely new situation that we don't know about yet. And obviously, if there is a new situation, then that's going to be pretty terrible, right? Now, again, as I said, because she keeps it so vague, it makes me think that it is a situation that we don't know about. Because, again, as I said, it doesn't really make sense why you would keep it vague if that was the case, unless she's trying to stay out of, like, trouble legally and things like that. But I'm going to be honest, I think Novel Horizons is, like, just dead. So I don't think it really matters on that front. But, of course, there's been a lot of support from Matara, because I can understand that, it's a very tough time saying, oh, Matara, I'm so sorry. Betrayal like this digs so deep. Please take care, and we will be rating. Saying, take all the time you need, Matara. A quick paint moment to cheer you on. She says, big love. That's so cute. Thank you. Obviously, love you so resilient, Roach. Ad-free saying, it's okay not to be okay. It's okay to need to lean on others. I hope you get all the rest and reset you need. You are the strongest bug. You are the most beautiful bug. Take good care of yourself. Which obviously, yeah, loads of people just giving her support and things. But obviously, a lot of people have been discussing it in communities and things like this. And of course, yeah, people said Matara was betrayed by another company and is going to stay with family. And people said, with this timing, I'm willing to bet this is about Novel Horizons. Our only thing with Novel Horizons was a merch collab with Giga. saying, notice how notice how her statement wasn't necessarily about betraying her trust. She never said my trust, but about betraying the trust of the VTuber community as a whole. I think she saw a lot of friends get screwed over and upset, and she's a very empathetic person. She's taking it really hard. Some of the people involved in things like Bao have seemingly left VTubing behind to go full-face streamer, which, of course, this is all just people speculating on this. Again, they do point out the fact that, yeah, she does say, like, betrayed a lot of the audience's trust and streamers' trust, which obviously does kind of fit the whole thing with, Novel Horizons and everything like that, right? They have betrayed the audience and the streamers' trust because obviously the audience didn't get their merch, right? They paid for merch expecting to get it and they didn't get it. And obviously the streamers, because they put their trust in Novel Horizons, that obviously they weren't going to shut down on them and not deliver the, the products to their fans that they thought they were going to deliver, right? And it has been a huge mess in the VTubing community in general, right? Community, I know people don't like the broad community, the VTubing space in general, right? It has been a huge mess. And of course, as I said, so many different VTubers were affected by it. Like obviously Armalee, but like that wasn't the only one that was affected. There's so many more. Obviously Zentrea did a whole thing about it. Literally most of the big VTubers did a whole thing about it because they'd worked with the company, right? And I can understand why, maybe if Matara was seeing all of this, feeling like empathetic towards a lot of these people, and maybe, obviously I know a lot of people in the VTuber space are kind of connected as well. So seeing people affected by it and potentially, some stuff behind the scenes, it can be hard, right? I get it, right? Saying rest as long as you need. Things can seem so bleak sometimes with everything going on, but what matters is how you feel. The outside forces is down every now and then. Obviously you said hard to see such hard workers get the short end of the stick. Good for her to rely on family. Not many adults are strong enough to be vulnerable anymore. The indie streamers, especially ones with little to no business experience, need to hire managers to avoid this exact issue. So I'm glad she's being open with her vulnerability, saying, damn, I've been following her since Niji, seeing her treated badly by the corporation and betrayed is heartbreaking. And obviously, yeah, I mean, I think it's also like triply as bad for Matara too, because obviously she's been affected by a lot of company stuff, obviously the Niji Saji stuff, and then of course, VShojo, you kind of got like kind of the worst hand dealt, I guess, in terms of being a VTuber, which of course, yeah, it sucks, right? And obviously seeing this happen now, I'm sure, it's going to change a lot of people's opinions and stuff on the space and companies within the space, right? He said, Matara needs to get a lawyer side, or at least someone that can read and interpret contracts. Said it's not bad luck, it's bad actors. Contracts don't mean anything if the other party decides to act illegally. Kason has gone on full record saying VShojo had good terms in their contracts on paper. It looks great. Didn't stop them from the outright theft though, which obviously is true, right? Sometimes you can have the most perfect contracts in place and things can still go wrong. For example, the Novel Horizon situation, right? There's nothing in the contract that says we will not go bankrupt or whatever, right? Of course there isn't, because that sounds stupid. But of course, that doesn't stop them from going bankrupt, and the whole issue that we had. So sometimes things can't be included in a contract. Sometimes, it's not down to a contract or a lawyer or whatever. It's just down to bad luck, I guess, or obviously just companies not being able to function properly. The American scam companies, how many more do we need to see? So unfortunately, the creative space is full of scams and bad actors, and only the biggest and most robust companies have protection from them. Sometimes not even then. The Diamond Comics debacle shows add in that a crap economy means more scammers circling. So it sounds like she got burnt by the same company that burnt Bao, Armor, and others. Obviously, talking about Novel Horizons, I wish her nothing but the best. Which, of course, again, I don't know if, I don't know if it is that or not. As I said, some people think it's Novel Horizons, some people think it's other things, or it could be a huge mix of everything, or it could be none of them at all, right? I think that is really the big thing to take away from this. Of course, I'm assuming whenever she comes back, whatever, she might give a little bit of a talk about it. But that is essentially what people have been responding to this situation with and tried to find out at the moment. But yeah, obviously it seems like she's going through a bit of a tough time at the moment. So go and support Matara, and hopefully things will get better soon, because yeah, it's been pretty rough, right, over the past couple of months, if not a couple of years or so, especially in the EN VTuber space, whenever it comes to companies and things. It's not been so great, right? But yeah, that's essentially all I got for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to my React channel. We've got a ton of React stuff there too, where we look at some VTuber clips, stuff like that. So I definitely recommend checking that too. That'll be down in the link in the bio or even in the comments. So yeah, and I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.